Right guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are reviewing one of the core formations for the Angel's Blade Strike Force. This is the Battle Demi company. There's a little bit of variation that we can do whilst building it, but unfortunately it's still not as flexible as the Space Marine one. So, unit composition. I'll start at the bottom. You must take a Dreadnought, not a Furioso. No other kind. You must take a Dreadnought, which is a shame because the Space Marine one was optional. We then have to take a Devastator squad, and as a Blood Angel player, it's very, very rare that these guys even come out. And by the time you start equipping them with weapons, you know, Furious Charge and the Red Thirst isn't going to be that useful on Devastators. So it's a bit of a shame about that, but never mind. The Space Marine one allows you to swap them out for Centurions, which unfortunately we don't have. The only bonus that we now have is that thanks to the Angel's Blade book, we now have access to Grav, which is a shame, because if you do own a Blood Angels Devastator squad, chances are you probably bought it before the Grav cannon was even a thing. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the Devastators. If I do take this formation, I'll probably just run them as 5 bolter guys in a drop pod or something. We then have a fast option, which is an assault squad, bike squad, or land speeder. So at least we have that choice there to switch things around. I'm not sure if I like the assault squads now. They are cheaper at 70 points rather than 85. They can still take dual melter, which is great, but they don't get the free drop pod anymore. So that's essentially a 20-point increase to get the drop pod, whereas before, if we just dropped the jump packs, we got the free pod. So yeah, that's a 20-point increase essentially on sticking them in a drop pod. However, sergeants can now take eviscerators, which is okay, but the way that I run the assault marines, you're never going to see combat because you're going to drop in, pop a tank, and then your opponent's going to target you and kill you. So that's not bad, I suppose. It just depends on your play style. At least there's a bit of variation there for the fast attack choices. We then of course have 3 tactical squads, and of course I'm just running them as 5-man squads here. You know, melter gun, heavy flamer, spread out across them. So that in itself isn't too bad. I mean, you do have the Angel's Virtue. If this is chosen as your primary detachment, you do get to reroll your Warlord trait, and you can add 1 to your initiative if it is the turn that you charge, which again is brilliant, but why would you charge your Devastators? And the other frustrating thing is we don't get objectives secured, which, like I said, very, very annoying, but never mind. That is the main part of this detachment, but you then have 2 options. You can take a captain and a command squad. So again, depending on your play style, depends on how you might want to kit these guys out. Or you can take a chaplain and a Furioso Dread. And it's just a shame that that guy can't be upgraded to a Furioso, because running 2 Furiosos in the single list wouldn't have been too bad at all. So I don't know whether I like this. You know, it is kind of along the same play style as I would normally go, but you know, the Devastators, are they an issue? I don't know. Paying the extra tax for a normal Dreadnought, again, I don't know. The Chaplain, you know, stick them anywhere you want, in with the, you know, the assault squad, or indeed stick them with another squad from a different formation. Looking at the overall detachment for this, the Army of Sanguinius, it's not too bad. I just think that the core choices are a little bit costly by the time you've got this, or you've got the Archangel Demi company, which I'll go over shortly. The command benefits are basically the Red Thirst. Everything gets +1 initiative, which if you run the formation separately, you don't get. Running them in this detachment, you do. Looking at the overall detachment, I'm tempted to actually just run a Baal Strike Force and run the Death Company one as the core, because at least with the Baal Strike Force, you're not stuck with all the extra attacks. If you want to stick other things in there, you can. Now, just moving across to actually look at the book, there is a number of things that you can do. You can take 1+ core and 0 to 5 command. Commands, you've got the chapter Ancients, which I'll go over shortly. You've got the Golden Host as well. And then we've got Leaders of the Angelic Host, so you can actually add people such as Mephiston, Sanguinary Priest and Brother Cabulo, things like that, which is handy to get them in. At least you're not paying, you know, a massive amount of tax to get them in, but then they don't benefit from any of the other formation rules, unfortunately. You've then got the other formations here, which I will go through, apart from the 10th Company Ambush Force. The good thing that we've got is Rapid Assault Force. You can literally just take 1 to 3 units of assault squads, bikes, attack spikes, or land speeders, which is great for assault-based armies, especially Blood Angels. Just whack a couple of assault squads or bike squads straight in there without any tax at all. And we've also got the Fire Support Force, which means we can literally just stick in a Devastator squad, Whirlwind, or Vindicator. It's worth noting as well that the Vindicator and Whirlwinds have also been upgraded to get the Squadron rules, which is fantastic. We now get that Linebreaker shell from Vindicators, and if you upgrade them for overcharged engines, that's move 12 and still fire that shell 24 inches, which is absolutely brutal. So that is the Demi company. Please let me know what your thoughts are, and if you would run this detachment, or whether you agree with me and would run the Baal Strike Force. Please leave it in the comments and let me know. Stay tuned and have a look at the rest of the reviews and the formations that I'm going to do for the Angels Blade book. But for the moment, thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.